You're watching 13 News at 6 o'clock, and we start tonight on this Thursday night with a look at the widespread damage that we're seeing all across central and eastern Indiana. We have flash flooding, and it's following days of rain. We have rising waters that is washing away communities.
Tonight at 6, there's a statewide disaster emergency now in place.
Also, when we look ahead, we're tracking more rain that's headed our way, and it's going to impact some of the areas that are already hardest hit. We have live team comprehensive coverage for you tonight all around the area, from out east in Cambridge City and Connersville, north in Muncie too.
And we'll get to all of that in a moment, but first tonight we want to start over in the Weather Center where Rob's in for Angela. He's got the timeline for the latest round of rain and storms. Rob?
Yeah, I hate that we're dealing with more storms, and I hate that we're going to add a lot more rain on top of this. Let me show you what we are tracking. There's the current radar. We'll take you to the south where the storms are currently moving through. And yes, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in place, moving through Bloomington right now. Also over to Columbus, where we're seeing a lot of heavy rain and lightning. This is likely going to keep pushing to the south and east, will likely impact Lake Monroe, moving through Bloomington, and we've got the severe thunderstorm watch in place until 8 p.m. Beyond that, we are expecting river flooding, which our reporters are going to show you and tell you about what's happening there, but many locations still rising, not yet cresting. Now we're going to add more rain into the mix. Now this first cluster is expected to move to the south. That will be some good news that we get a little break. Unfortunately, new computer guidance is suggesting that we're going to see this band of heavy rain set up yet again sometime overnight tonight through tomorrow morning before moving out and maybe seeing more storms during the afternoon. This is some new data, and I don't want you to pay attention to exact numbers, but this is the same type of scenario of what we showed you yesterday, where someone is going to get some heavy rain. This particular computer model brings it from Muncie to Richmond and in the same areas that have already been dealing with flash flooding. Yesterday, this computer forecast had it a little farther to the west. It will maneuver just a little bit, but this is not what we need to add into and may potentially add more to over the next several days. I'll be back with a look at more information coming up.
All right, Rob, we'll see you in a little bit. If you've been watching our coverage, you know that Delaware County is one of the hardest hit areas with flooding.
Neighbors that are there in Muncie are still trying to dry out today with the roads and homes destroyed after this most recent round of rain there. Rich and I back in Muncie for day 2 today, joining us with the latest of what you're finding there in these neighborhoods. Just devastating for these residents, Rich.
It sure is. And Scott and Anne Marie, my concern right now is it just started raining again. As you look down this flooded street, Manville Road, right along the White River here in Muncie, you can see the rain hitting this flooded street. And this really tells the story along this road. If you're on the riverside, your house is flooded. There may be water still up to the windows, up to maybe a couple of feet on the doorway. If you're on the other side, you may be okay. There might be some water in your basement if you have one, or crawl space, but most of these homes were spared as the river crested today and is now beginning to recede. Let's take you overhead and show you the view from drone cam. We'll go a couple blocks over to another area of this neighborhood where, again, many homes underwater, in the water, and people had to be evacuated either early this morning while it was still dark or in the very early morning light hours of this day to get out of their homes because of these rising flood waters. Others were right on the edge and spent the day cleaning out their house, trying to get as much as they could out of their house in case those floodwaters came. One of those ladies was Ashton Lewis. So how do you handle this?
Crying. I've cried quite a bit. Family, support with family, and just a whole lot of faith that everything will be okay. It's been rough, to say the least.
And I wanted to update you on the area where we were reporting yesterday on Vine Street, where we had all that flooding from the torrential rains. That area is still flooded, although the water has receded slightly, but you can see people still not able to really get back to their homes, and it'll be a while there before those flood waters are gone. Back here live, again, the rain has now started again in Muncie, and this is Manville Road, where many houses along the White River are flooded. Ella Rhodes is in Connersville tonight, where there are more flooding issues.
That's exactly right, Rich. Just south of you here in Connersville, I want you guys to look at the significant flooding behind me. So normally this is completely dry and there's a cornfield here. You zoom in, you can see the corn is fully submerged. That's 6 feet tall. All that corn right there, okay? And they were telling us the water was actually way above all that corn before. So the corn was fully submerged, and this is actually a substation box to the left of it. It's just so much water here, and this is just right off the Whitewater River, and you can just see it's slowly dissipating, but still so much flooding. Now, this had historic rainfall here, 20 inches in Connersville. Check out the video on your screen. This is drone video from the city of Connersville. They took this earlier this morning. Now, a lot of homes on the east side have water nearly up to the roof. So the Whitewater River splits the city in half. And Mayor Chad Frank said they had a crew positioned on the east side to help people, where they did about 14 rescues so far. But the east half of the city cannot reach the hospital on the west side. So if they need to go to the hospital, they have to drive all the way over to Richmond. Now, both bridges that connect each side of the city are still shut down because of the flooding. Now, a majority of Dwayne Robinson's 40-acre property is also still submerged.
You're kind of numb for a minute, but I guess you want to be strong for all the others.
Now, the power is also coming back. We saw a few Duke Energy trucks making their way through here, and NDOT's trying to assess roads. The mayor had told us with the bridges specifically, NDOT's not able to see exactly what they're dealing with because the water is still so high on those bridges. They're really urging people to stay away from the east side of the city in the flooded areas so crews can really respond and get to work. And I will say it's already started drizzling here a bit again, so that's definitely another concern on top of the historic rainfall that we've seen here. Ann?
Yeah, a valid concern indeed. All right, Ella reporting live for us. Thanks so much. Wayne County right now is under a travel warning tonight. It was at a level 3. It's now down to level 2. So that's some good news as we look live right now along the interstate. This is I-70. This is near Centerville Road. This is where crews have been busy working all day to repair the roadway there after the heavy rain and flooding washed away some of the westbound lanes, causing the crews to close them. They hope to have this area back open tomorrow.
Want to remind you that you can track our latest weather updates on our WTHR streaming app. That's also where you can watch our live radar on demand.
Also, we've seen several schools announce closures for Friday tomorrow. If you want to see if that impacts you, we have a list for you right now at WTHR.com.